Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing good. So I wanted to make this video on people pleasing. I had this topic uh, a lot in my mind, but I thought of shooting it today. Let me start with the word people pleasing, right? And what does that even mean? What does the word people pleasing mean? That is saying we are someone who is pleasing people, someone who is trying to make other people like them. That's a simple definition of people people pleasing. And it's a very subconscious thing that happens, right? You can also say a kind of manipulation, a subconscious manipulation we are doing in order to make people like us, right? In the mind of a people pleaser, and I'm seeing my notes because I've written my notes and I don't want to miss anything that I've written here. In the mind of people pleaser, what happens is they feel that I have to please the other person in front of me, because if the other person in front of me is not happy, then there is a threat. They subconsciously feel a threat or a feeling that they don't like. And therefore, they, in order to maintain peace, in order to uh, make the other person happy and not feel this emotion, by default wiring is to always please other people, because that feels safer, that feels included, and that is a pattern. People pleasing is also a pattern that we develop through our years of programming. It's how we grow up. It's how it's how we have navigated situation in life. And the way we have navigated is by pleasing others, because that has made us feel safe. You can also see the good girl syndrome. I don't know if you've read about it. The good girl syndrome, that uh, if you are the child of the house who's very quiet, who is very agreeing, you're very well adjusting to people around, then you have this, kind of tag given to you that you're a good girl, you're a good boy, and you kind of keep up that image of a good girl or a good boy by being quiet, by not unnecessarily sharing what you want, by hiding yourself. And that is what you learn, right? So you learn that in order to be a good girl, you need to please other people. You have to say things, only good things to people so that they like you. You cannot say bad things to people. You cannot say what you want to, but you have to say what they like. And that's a subtle, you can see how a subtle manipulation that is happening here. And what happens as a result of it is inauthentic relationship, where we are saying for the sake of saying, when we are where we are loving the other person for the sake of loving, but inside we are thinking something else about that person. We have some different kind of thoughts for that person, but in front of them we are trying to be very nice, this goody goody behavior, and uh, trying to be that bigger person, that person who is very good, who has uh, who likes you so much, and who just nods to everything, who adjusts to everything what people say. And that is why people pleaser have also this tendency of not even thinking about themselves. They never ever think about what they want, right? They always put other people's desire before them. So they will always be like this. I had a client where we when we had this session, the client was always like, my mother wants this. I don't have an option. I have to do it for her. I don't know. I have to make her proud. So a feeling that you always have to please other people, you always have to do things because other people are desiring it for you, and that is your duty to be a good person. So it is like you have put yourself in a tag of a good person, and a good person is someone who always say good things to other people. Who And there's a difference between saying good things and inauthentic things, which doesn't feel right to you, right? If you're saying good to the other person, when inside you're not even, don't have that good feelings for them. So that's inauthentic. So a people pleaser doesn't even know what is it that they really want, because throughout their life, how they have navigated situation is by putting other people desires before them. So they have always done things that other people have wanted out of them. Regarding career decision, they cannot make a choice for themselves. They have difficulty making a choice because I have to make a choice what my environment and what people around me are taking and wanting me to take, because that feels safe for them. In relationship also, they don't speak up what they want to, and in turn, and they build up so much resentment for the other person, right? I'm not saying that to uh, you know it's like it's a chronic, I mean, it's a thing that you do with everyone. You don't express what you really what you really desire, and instead you just want what the other person desire, and you go by desire. Let's say example, you go to a restaurant and you really want to eat you eat a dish that you really like, but everyone is ordering some other dish, and so it's like, okay, I'll have just that one, right? And you don't even like that dish, and you don't even say that. It is like that. So So you very well know what other people want. You very well know, because you are that hyperactive person, right? You're very much scanning what other people want, and uh what you say, wrap yourself up in that way in every situation, in every group interaction, in every conversation, right? It becomes more about the other person rather than you. They are the peacemakers, right? They are the peacemaker who adjust to every situation and who doesn't want conflict, so who is very scared of conflict. So they just want, everything just go okay, and slowly building resentment for people around. So they just in their head sometimes want certain things, but they don't say out, they don't have a communication, and that builds up anger, that builds up frustration. They also have a lot of guilt for, uh, guilt for owning their life, guilt for taking their own decisions, guilt about being happy, and always, be in this mode of saving other people, uh, always doing good for the other people, and never ever thinking about themselves. So they forget their own need. They kind of start losing themselves in the process, right? When I was having a session with my coach, and she was asking me a couple of questions, and I said that the same statement for her to her, that I don't know what I want. I feel like I've lost myself. And this was the exact statement that I told it to my coach. And now that I realize that I said that I have lost myself, because from years of people pleasing, from years of doing what other people's want me to do, I actually forgot what is it that I really want, right? So that what happens in the life of a people pleaser. Everyone other, like every other person becomes their main character of the story, and instead of you being the hero of your own story, everyone else is so much invested. You give so much attention and authority to other people to in your own life, to build your story. So you will always find people pleaser also having difficulty making decisions for themselves. So they often look for advices, they often looks for opinions, and they just agree to what other people say, and never ever thinking what is it that they want. Right? So it's an adaptive behavior and a pattern that you develop throughout the year of your life, like throughout the environment that you grew up, throughout the situation and the people that you met, right? And I do this exactly with my client. I help you navigate those stories and situations that are not serving you in this moment. So I help you process those incident and situations so that you feel better in this moment. So I do this kind of work with my client too. So for that, if you were in an environment where you felt there's a lot of conflict, where your voice was not heard, where you did not feel understood, where you did not feel belong, you had dominating parents, so so you kind of formed a personality of you which was serving throughout this year of your life. And when you come to this work, you realize how it is not serving you, right? It's no longer serving you. How it is making you lose yourself in the process. How people pleasing is exhausting. It's constantly exhausting to be the one who is always in this, mode of thinking what other people want from them and forgetting about themselves in the process, right? If if you really want to work on your own people pleasing tendency, and if you have recognized you have like little bit of it in you, I really want you to, explore those story with someone. It really helps because sometimes we are so much tangled up in our own thoughts that we need someone to hold space and show us the mirror of those stories, because our mind keeps tricking us into something else, and we are never able to create and reflect for ourselves. So in case you haven't had a safe space where you can dig more into this issue of yours, I would definitely recommend you to work with a coach or a therapist. And also, one thing else is, start recognizing in what area of your life are you really people pleasing. Are you people pleasing in your like professional relationships, in your professional setup, where you are just agreeing to your colleagues, your boss, and you're not saying what you want and your opinion, your ideas, and you're just agreeing because you think that agreeing and saying yes will somehow make you very likable, and that's your default pattern to always do it in groups. Start recognizing if in your own relationship, in your personal relationship, are you speaking what you want? Are you even talking to your partner about your own needs? What is it that you want? Are you in social setup, in relationship, like in any small little things, right? Recognize where are you not where you're losing yourself slowly in order to be liked, in order to fit in. Now, that's the word. To fit in, we think that we have to do things in a certain way. Otherwise, if we do things in some other way, we are not fitting in. Also know what your needs are, what your wants are, because if you have been a people pleaser for a very long time, chances are that uh, you haven't sat with what is it that you want, because you haven't found yourself that much important to sit with yourself. you've always made it all about other people, right? So know your needs, know your wants, and stop always, adjusting yourself to people desire and to people needs, right? Think about yourself. Think about what do you want to do, about what where you want to go, where do you want to eat, right? Don't always let other people decide it for you, and don't always be that person who is adjusting in every situation. I remember one of my best friends once said that, close friends once said that, Deepthi, you're so adjusting as a person. You're so, adjust to people so easily. And at that moment, I took that as an honor that, oh my God, I so easily adjust to people. I'm such a good person. And now I realize I adjust to people, but slowly I'm building resentment for them in my heart, right? So it's better to create a boundary for myself and say a no wherever I want to, instead of always being that person who just agree to what people want for him or her, right? And it's a process, guys. I'm still recovering from my people pleasing mode, and I'm working on it. So if you are someone who related to, bits and bits of this video, and you really feel that, you also default to this tendency of people pleasing, where you just agree to what other people want and never ever standing up for yourself, never ever thinking about what is it that you want, then start your healing journey. Start working on this problem of yours, and be start making yourself the main character of your life, right? We think about so many people. We are so much into what other people want, what other people think, and what other people do, that we forget sitting about what are our goals, what are our dreams, what is it that we want from our life. So start creating space for yourself, a safe space where you process process this wounds that you have accumulated in your life, and it is not helping you move forward. It is keeping you stuck somewhere. I hope this video was helpful. If you find it helpful, you can also join my WhatsApp community, and the link is in the description. Thank you.